Στην κόκκινη γωνία από Ιρλανδία.
Dans les coins rouges d'Irlande.
In the red corner from Ireland.
Well, it's the most important boxing night for 4 years for Irish amateur boxing, because their sole representative, Andy Lee, boxed out of the St Francis Club in Limerick, had a spell with the Repton Club in London, looking relaxed and confident. And it's upon these young 20-year-old shoulders that the hopes of Irish Olympic boxing are going to be based here in Athens this year. It is a big ask of Andy Lee. He's got a tough enough opponent in his opening contest, and that's Alfredo Angulo Lopez of Mexico. If he gets through against the Mexican, he's got either a man from the Cameroon or the Dominican Republic, and then the possibility of a showdown in the quarter-finals with the formidable Gaidorbekov, the European champion. Great support for both boxers here this evening, for Andy Lee from Ireland and for Alfredo Angulo Lopez from Mexico. He's a pretty tough-looking customer. Just 21 years of age, is going to be celebrating his birthday. In fact, if my sums are right, he's celebrating his birthday today, which is the 14th of August. So it is a big day for the Mexican. Andy Lee was 20 in June. This fella is 22 years of age today. Qualified through the Tijuana qualifier, runner-up to the American Andre Dirrell. Customary touch of gloves. Andy Lee just getting himself ready.
Round one.
Four Nations champion in Wales a couple of years ago, and here they go. So in red, representing Ireland in this, the middleweight division, 75 kilograms, the tall, lean southpaw from Limerick, Andy Lee, and his opponent, the shorter squatter, Alfredo Angulo Lopez from Mexico. A lot of pressure on Andy Lee. Came through a very good European championship and finished up with a bronze medal, losing to the eventual silver medalist Lukas Vilkacek in the semi-final. And already Andy Lee has picked up the opening point. And how important is that, Richie Woodall?
Oh, it's very important that he starts positively here, and he's just sneaked ahead 2-1 at this stage, and this is good from Lee, working with that right jab, controlling the contest, waiting for his opponent to come in and catching him on the way in. Great counters.
Just worried me a little bit in the opening 10 seconds that the Mexican threw a very good left hook round the corner, which is the perfect counter to the southpaw, and the Mexican has closed the gap to a single point, and this is going to be a tough one for Andy Lee. So much expected of him, and of course so much depends on the draw. And when the draw was made, we thought, well, he mightn't be too badly off until he meets the Russian, but it's a long way to go. Into the second minute, 5-3 on a high-scoring contest. Good, lovely movement from Lee, nicely done on the counter. 3 points up with 40 seconds of the first remaining, and again took a body shot there, but it didn't register. Remember, you've got to land with the knuckle part of the glove. That's the bit picked out in white on the target area, either the head or torso, and 3 of the 5 judges must within a second press the appropriate button to record a score in this computer system. Better stuff from Lee, lovely footwork from the big Irishman.
Well, Lee's moving perfectly here, he's just keeping his distance, and that's great boxing from Andy Lee, and that's what he's got to do. He mustn't get involved with this guy. Don't let this guy in on the inside, keep it at range, box to your advantage and your strength, and that's what Lee's doing at this stage. Good work.
Well, he's 11 points to 3 up, and that's a very good gap with just a few seconds to go. This has been a great opening round for Andy Lee. Conceded a shot right at the end. Not sure that anybody heard the bell, but 11-4. And the Irish corner, I think, will be particularly pleased with Andy Lee. And there's a friend of yours in the Irish corner, Richie.
Yeah, certainly is. Billy Walsh. We've locked horns just on one occasion in Coventry, England against Ireland. Great competitor and now a great coach.
7 times Irish champion. Mexican coming bulling forward, trying to dominate the early exchanges. Not too fussy where he puts his head, and it's right into the face of Andy Lee. But Lee, to his great credit, regained his composure and does what he does best, and uses those long arms and that awkward southpaw style of his to pretty good effect. And there's a bit of a nick. Oh, that's a nasty cut. Well, that's a nasty cut. So Andy Lee's southpaw right has been getting in, and you don't really see that very often. The Mexican very slow to get out. Now the doctor wasn't called in. The referee obviously hasn't noticed that at all. But that is a very nasty cut. Just right on the eyelid of Alfredo Angulo Lopez. So far it hasn't been a very happy birthday for the Mexican.
Not yet, but I suspect if the referee does see that cut, then with the blood running to the eye, there's always a possibility he'll stop this contest. So Andy Lee is in control at the moment, and he's boxing well.
And he's got another point up, and he's got another one up. So 13-4 for Andy Lee, and this is very impressive. Mexican trying to close him down. Lee's got to make sure. That was a slap. He got a hit with the knuckle part of the glove, and the Mexican getting a little bit frustrated by the all-action lateral movement and clever counter-punching of Andy Lee. What a huge boost this would be for Ireland, like Britain, with Amir Khan just one single representative. So hard is the qualification from Europe these days. Again, Lee doing nicely, 15-6. And again, being first, 10 points the gap. Oh, got caught with a solid-looking right hand from Angulo Lopez, who's by no means finished.
Well, that'll be a good reminder for Lee that he can't just take it easy here. He gets caught with another shot. But for me, he's boxing well. He's boxing on the back foot. This guy's coming forward, relatively slow feet, and Andy Lee, up to this stage, he's fairly in control here, Jim.
Well, the Mexicans have great hopes for this fella. Boxed in the 69 kilograms in the Pan Am Games and didn't qualify, so decided to move up to the middleweight division, and then did qualify at home in Tijuana. Now that's the second little caution he's got. If he gets another one of those, it's going to be a warning. That's going to mean 2 more points, but this hasn't been a great round for Lee. He's allowed the Mexican come back into it, and there's only 5 between them with 20 seconds remaining. Lee's got to step up the work rate.
It's very important that when Lopez comes in close, Lee must trade with him on the inside, because then he'll match him punch for punch. But that's
stuff
great
by
boxing.
Lee. Yep, 2 lovely shots by Andy Lee, into the body and then to the head. An 8-point gap, but is it going to be a big enough one? Once again, Lee lands with a good shot at the end. That's a 9-point gap. A lovely chopping right hand from the Irish youngster.
Two stupid right hands, okay? We can't afford it, we're well ahead. Right? Keep going to your right. Working that right hand and right hook with the left up the middle. Twice.
Good stuff from Lee. Lovely combination. 1-2-3 punch combination, Richie. And they're nice, clean shots, and they're bound to impress the judges.
Well, that was excellent, because then he moved away. He lost his way a little bit in that round, Jim. He allowed the gap to close, and Lopez came in and scored with some shots. But when he's on the back foot like that, hitting and moving, look at that beautiful 1-2s there, and he's away. That's good.
Shoot back to your right. Okay.
Well, they've done a pretty good job. There's a little bit of blood on the nose there, and nobody has said anything about that. So the midway point, and Andy Lee 22-13 ahead. That's better by Lee. Good little flurry. His Mexican opponent picked up one on the retreat.
Oh, excellent boxing again from Lee there. Lovely 1-2, and then he's away, and there again. This is good, Jim.
Andy Lee entered the World Senior Championships last year, had a great win in the opening series against the strong Kim from Korea, and then lost out to the eventual gold medalist Golovkin from Kazakhstan. But he's maintaining that 9-point gap as we come to the midway point in the third and penultimate round. Good footwork by Lee. This time Angulo Lopez caution for hitting low. Once again, Lee picks him off with that right. And again with a short left. This is better stuff by Lee. 12 points now between them, and again. It must be very frustrating for the Mexican, because Lee is not standing still. He's moving nicely, and he's picking him off beautifully, Richie.
Yeah, some good stuff. And then when he's in close, that's when he's got to trade and just match his opponent. That's where he's got to trade, Jim. Match him punch for punch, and then get back to the long-range boxing. But so far, so good for Andy Lee.
Lovely little uppercut by Lee, right through the middle. Took a clubbing shot to the head, and again it's the wrong part of the glove. Now that's the third time. doesn't seem to faze Lee too much. He's opened up a 14-point gap. A little bit too much to ask that he could outscore his man. Took a shot there which he won't like.
Yeah, just neglecting his guard a little bit there as his opponent was coming in, dropped his hands, gets caught. But the longer this goes on, Jim, the more frustrated Lopez will get, and he'll keep coming forward, and he should walk onto the shots from Lee. Lee's just got to get the timing right as he comes in.
Well, Lee may go into the last round with a 15-point lead, and that's exactly what he's going to do. 32-17 against this fellow Alfredo Angulo Lopez from Mexicali in Mexico, and in favour of the man across the ring from him in the red corner, Andy Lee from Ireland, who's boxed quite magnificently. One or two little lapses of concentration, and he got caught with a very good short right hand, and that staggered him ever so slightly. This Mexican is shorter and squatter and looks very strong, although he's moved up from the 69 kilogram division in the last year. Lee tall and lean for a middleweight. This has been a good contest all the way through, but Lee's been getting the better of it.
Es el último round, tienes que entender que tienes que hacer un esfuerzo. Repite la derecha, agárralo con doble gancho y tira a la derecha doble.
Well, Mexico have come here with no fewer than 5 boxers. Ireland only Andy Lee, and he's won every round so far. And going into the final 2 minutes, and the Mexican had forgotten his mouth guard, which has to be worn at all times. Andy Lee is now 15 points up, and surely he's not going to throw that sort of a lead away.
Well, I expect Lopez now to come at him like a bull in a china shop, so Andy Lee's got to get the timing right as his opponent comes in like that, hit and move, keep it long, don't get involved. That would be my message to him, and he's doing just that.
This little combination brought a single computer scoring point for Andy Lee, and his lateral movement really has been first class. Stabbing away, frustrating Angulo Lopez. Good work by Lee. The Mexican support very silent. Great Irish contingent have come here just in front of us, a lot of the members of the Irish International Committee.
A lovely 3-punch combination again there from Lee. Excellent work, it really is. Just got to keep his head together now, keep that guard nice and tight and chin down.
Lovely right shot from Andy Lee, just feinted and then let it go very quickly. Turned the normal southpaw jab into a hook, which is one of the most difficult things to do in boxing. 16 points to the good. And Angulo Lopez is going to have to stop Andy Lee to win this. Thumping away to the young Irishman's body. Lee has to be careful. Well, dangerous looking uppercut came through there.
Lee should move now, he shouldn't be there. Get back to his boxing. I know he's a little bit tired, but nevertheless, if he stands there, that's when it brings Lopez into the contest. And Lopez lands with some good shots. So Lee has got to hit and move, Jim.
Got caught with a very good right hand, but there's still 15 points between them, as it was at the start of the round. Another good right from the Mexican. Yeah, picked it up again. 14 points the difference. Lee's going to win this. Well, Ireland's sole representative will get into the second series in what is a very hard division, and Lee has won it. Terrific support here for Andy Lee. Huge disappointment for the Mexicans, but the sole Irish representative, Andy Lee, from the St. Francis Club in Limerick, has got through to the second series in the 75 kilogram division. The Mexicans, well, hugely downhearted by that, but the skill and the footwork and the long arms of this young Irishman, more than good enough to get him through.
Νικητής στα σημεία με 38-23, γωνία κόκκινη από Ιρλανδία.
Great roar from the ever vociferous Irish contingent here at the boxing stadium, and Andy Lee goes through 38-23, one of the highest totals we've seen so far, and very generously he goes over to the Mexican corner and takes the plaudits in the middle of the ring. So well done to Andy Lee, and Ireland's only boxing representative is through to box another day.
Ο διαιτητής του αγώνα από Ουγγαρία.
L'arbitre du combat de Hongrie.
The referee for the next bout is from Hungary, Joseph Domanios.
Οι κριτές του αγώνα. Θέση 1 από Puerto Rico.
Les juges du combat. Place numéro 1 du Porto Rico.
The judge in position number 1 from Puerto Rico, Jose Bonet.
Θέση 2 από Αλγερία.
Place numéro 2 d'Algérie.